There are moments in life when the world outside rages, but the real storm is the one you never see coming, the one that creeps into the places you call safe. That night, I had just gotten home from work about an hour ago. It was one of those nights where you just want to shut the world out. The rain had been steady, tapping against the windows like impatient fingers. Thunder rumbled in the distance, the kind that makes your stomach tighten without you even realizing it. We don't get many storms like this where I live, so when they do hit, they always make me feel uneasy. I was curled up in my bed, the soft glow of the TV lighting up my room, the sound helping me drown out the storm. But then, something made me sit up. A noise. A faint creak from downstairs. At first, I dismissed it. Old houses make noises, right? Settling wood, shifting walls. But something about it gnawed at me like an itch I couldn't ignore. Against my better judgment, I got up and went to check. I crept downstairs, my bare feet cold against the wooden floor. I peeked into each room, half expecting to find something but hoping I wouldn't. Nothing. Just shadows stretching across the furniture as lightning flickered outside. I let out a slow breath, shook off the uneasy feeling, and went to the kitchen to fill my water bottle before heading back up. It should have ended there. But it didn't. A few minutes later, just as I was settling back in, I heard something again. This time I knew what it was. A crash. The unmistakable sound of my living room lamp hitting the floor. I froze. I knew that lamp well. It was wobbly, yeah, but it had never fallen on its own, not once. And the storm outside wasn't nearly strong enough to shake the house. My stomach twisted into knots as I swung my legs off the bed. My body felt heavy, my mind racing with possibilities. Maybe something fell and knocked it over. Maybe the wind had somehow... No, I knew better. I moved cautiously, my breath shallow, as I made my way back downstairs. The air felt different, charged almost, like something was waiting. And there it was, the lamp, lying in the middle of the floor. I picked it up slowly, glancing around. Nothing seemed out of place, but the silence felt wrong. Almost like the house was holding its breath. I should have left right then, but I didn't. Instead, I convinced myself I was overthinking things. I checked around the house again, then forced myself to go back upstairs. This time, I turned down the volume on the TV and just listened. That's when I noticed it. The rain had changed. It sounded different. Not just louder, closer. Almost like it was inside the house. I swallowed hard, my heart thudding in my chest. I got up, cracked open my bedroom door, and immediately, the sound was clearer. It was coming from downstairs. My body moved on its own, every instinct screaming at me to stop, but I had to know. I followed the sound, every step feeling heavier than the last. And then, at the end of the hallway near the kitchen, I stopped. The storage closet. It was an awkward little space, barely used, but I knew there was a window inside. I had a sick feeling in my stomach as I reached for the handle. My fingers hovered for a second before I turned the knob and pulled the door open. The window was wide open. Rain was pouring in, soaking the boxes below. The cold night air rushed in, biting at my skin. My hands started to shake. I hadn't touched this window in months. A single thought pulsed through my mind. I am not alone in this house. Panic set in. My phone, my only lifeline, was upstairs, sitting uselessly on my bed. My options were terrifyingly simple. Run up to get it or run out of the house. I could barely breathe as I moved toward the kitchen. My fingers closed around my car keys. My pulse was a drum in my ears as I started to inch toward the front door. And then, footsteps. A burst of them. From upstairs. They were fast, heavy, coming straight toward the staircase. I didn't think. I didn't turn around. I ran. I lunged for the front door, my hands fumbling with the lock. The footsteps were getting closer, almost at the bottom of the stairs. I yanked the door open and threw myself into the rain. I sprinted to my car, the storm soaking through my clothes, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped the keys. I barely managed to start the engine before I peeled out of the driveway. I didn't stop, didn't look back. I called 911 through my car's system. The police arrived within minutes. But by the time they searched my house, it was empty. No signs of forced entry, no footprints, nothing. But when they looked in the storage closet, one detail stood out. The wall with the open window. It ran along the end table where the lamp had stood. Whoever had broken in had been trying to force that window open. The vibrations likely knocked the lamp over. And then, they hid. They had been inside my house the whole time. I don't know what they wanted. To rob me, hurt me, or something worse? I'll never know. But what I do know is this. I was sitting upstairs, completely unaware that someone was just beyond my bedroom door. Waiting. Watching. Even now, I still feel it sometimes. That cold, creeping sensation that I'm not alone. That if I just turned around fast enough, I might catch someone standing there. If you made it this far, ask yourself this. How safe do you really feel at home? If you've ever had an experience like this, drop it in the comments. And if you enjoy true horror stories, hit that subscribe button because trust me, there's a lot more where this came from. Like, share, stay safe.